Hear that?
What's that?
It was a blue jay or a hawk. Sometimes I mix the two of them up. Blue jay. No, it wasn't a blue jay either. That almost looked like one of those small woodpeckers. I don't know shit about birds. Hey guys, today It's Alive, we're gonna be making a bison jerky. We're gonna be making a little recipe on the fly, a little jerky on the fly together. It's gonna be great. Bison jerky. Ready? Ooh. Simple recipe, just like beef jerky, except we're gonna use bison. A little bit of a flavor difference, right? But pretty similar. Just like beef jerky, you know, any red meat for that matter. You can use elk, you can use venison. And we got this from our friends over at Force of Nature. It's a little different than beef. Obviously, it's leaner, like more like a wild game. But even the color, and it's just nice. And we're just gonna clean this up. We're gonna remove any of that little sinew and that little silver skin. Clean that up nice. Fat is not your friend when it comes to jerky. So you just wanna trim that off. It's like, you know, for jerky, there's not much going into this. So like, you want to get the best stuff you can possibly get, you know? And as much as you can clean it up, the better, you know? Because it's just going to come through in that jerky. And then I just like to cut it into, like, you know, little jerky strips. So with meat, you know, if you look at it, it's just like it has, you know, lines that run in it. And you can either cut against it or with it. And cutting against it, it'll leave it like a much, instead of having a stringy texture, instead of pulling the grains when it's dried, they'll tear more. Almost gets like a little... like you can like stretch it. Either works, but you just want to go try to find that grain and then cut it in your desired way. Yeah, that's nice. The thicker the cut, the longer it's going to take to dehydrate, and then also the little bit longer you're going to need in that marinade. So too thin, you don't want to go too long in the marinade because it can start to like denature and get a little weird. But I found like, look, this is like what I guess like an 1/8 inch. All right, and it's going to shrink a little bit in the dehydrator because you're dehydrating it, getting the water out. So that's what we're looking for, something like that. I don't need it to be tiny, nice little, yeah, little staker. Riveting content. So we got our sliced bison hanging out in the bowl. Let's put together our little marinade, all right? You know, you don't even need a recipe. Just use whatever you got. Don't overthink it. I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt on the beef. Oh God. Bison, all right? Just like if you were going to be cooking it to eat, that's all. Nothing crazy. I don't necessarily need to go weighing it. So let's mix up our marinade first. We'll start with a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin. Yeah, that's nice. And then we'll do, oh, this old banger. I believe I got this from my wife's uncle's wife. She's lovely, from Costa Rica, and she was telling me all about this, and she gave me a bottle, and it's wonderful. It's good on everything. You know, it's written in Spanish. I hardly speak English, so we're good. You know, we're just gonna put that in there, and it's wonderful. It goes good on everything. Oh yeah, look at that stuff, huh? And this is a little bit of garlic powder. Yeah, buddy. We'll put about that much in there. And look, this is a little wild card. I got some ground vanilla, all right? A little dab will do you on this one here, folks. And what we got here, a little cinnamon, but just gonna be a subtlety. Look. Just a little tappers. And that's all we need. It might even been a little too much. Next, prepared horseradish. This will add a nice little, like a tartare kind of riffy, kind of spicy little note. Love that. Teaspoon. I'm gonna do a little dab of this stuff because I had it in there and it's wonderful. And my buddy's over in Hudson, New York, the Poor Devil Pepper Company. And it's got a little spice to it. There's little Szechuan peppercorns in it. So yeah, one of your favorite little weird spices, get some of that. 1 tablespoon. What's next? This is gonna be nice. A little red clay, hot honey, all right? Again, if you don't wanna go down the spicy road, you can just use a little sugar or maple syrup. But look, we're gonna do, just 2 tablespoons. Ooh, nice, not too hot. And then I got this little firecracker, all right? It's basically just a crushed Calabrian chili with some olive oil. Oh God, I just love it so much. So we're gonna do 2 heaping back of a pretty standard fork. Well, that's got a little heat, baby. And we're gonna mix that up, all right? Yeah, look at that, that's great. Oh my God, that's amazing. We'll never recreate that again, but that's okay. That's how we roll. Well, let's add our meat to our small glass bowl that our director Corey is making us use. Was that a noise? That sounded like a crow, didn't it? Oh, it was right there. Did sound crowish, didn't it? Ah!
Remember the black crows?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Corey. No, I don't remember the black crows. Yeah, I do actually. I remember it was so cool. The videos were cool. New Amsterdam, he had like dreadlocks and shit. Everyone, like, he was cool. I wanted to be him, right? Oh, which one are you talking about? Oh, the Black Crows. What band was I describing? But anyway, back to the bison. This looks great. This might be some of my finest jerky work. Basically what you want to just make sure is that everything is like nice and even, okay? And this is just going to go overnight. I'll clean up the rim, put a little plastic on it, pop it in the fridge. That salt will start to pull out a little bit of the moisture in the bison, and game on. Let's go. Wrap it up, and we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll put it in the dehydrator. Oh, that smells terrible. Like there might be something wrong. Yes, it's smoking. Oh yeah, real problem. The fan ain't working. Look at it. Oh, this thing's gonna catch on fire. Don't worry. Got some backups, buddy. Gotta bring in the tried and true. Almost caught on fire. I don't know what was going on. The fan wasn't kicking in. Heating elements were getting real hot. Started smelling like them toy cap guns. So we pulled the plug, and I broke out the old tried and true, the Sahara, all right? I love this thing. So we're gonna use it today. I got the rack set up. We set our temperature. I get it to 133 degrees Fahrenheit, 130, whatever. It's really just gonna change the texture and the amount of time that you need to dehydrate. And all that factors into how much meat you have and how thick it is, yada, yada. And enough yapping, Brad, let's do it. Yeah, look at that, nice. You can see all that seasoning got right in there. Changed the color of the meat. That's what we're talking about. And then when you lay these out, lay them flat, nice like that. And you don't want them to touch. They can be close, or you don't want them to touch because you want that warm air that's circulating throughout the dehydrator to touch all edges of it, okay? Simple. Look at that. It smells so good. This is gonna be good jerky. Oh, this is that bigger one. That's gonna take a little while, but no big deal. Sometimes I like them a little chewy. All right, tray one in. So yeah, the dehydrator, basically it's just a box with a little electric heat element and a fan. Like you could literally build one. But basically it's just a fan circulating a low temperature heat that's gonna wick and pull the moisture out of the meat. You know, pre-refrigeration, you put some salt on it, you smoke it, dry it, it's a way of preserving, you know? It's like falls right in line with like the old world way of utilizing and being able to consume something that's perishable and seasonal for an extended period of time. If you wanted to, if you had a smoker, you can go ahead and put it in there just real low. Even in ovens, some ovens, gas or electric, some of them have a little dehydrator setting because a lot of ovens have little fans built in them. And it's basically just a high temp dehydrator at that point. So if you don't have a dehydrator, you know, look into your oven. I set this, like I said, to 133 degrees, and we're gonna let this go for probably 3-4 hours. I check it every now and then, but definitely takes a little bit of time. You know, it's one of them things. I feel like every time it's always a little different. And as that gets warm, you know, you can really start to smell the development of flavor. You know, it's almost, even though it's super low temperature, the flavors just develop a bit more under a low temp like that. So we're gonna let that go, keep an eye on it. I set the timer for 3.5 hours. Might take, you know, give or take a little bit more. But that's it, you know, we'll catch you in a few, right? All right, so we had our dehydrator going. We went about 5 hours. You know, because there was some variation in thickness of cut, which is gonna happen. Remember I had a couple of those thicker ones. What I like to do is at like the 4-hour mark, go ahead and I like to pick out all the ones that are done so they don't get over dehydrated, get chalky, get dry. So like it's still hot, and as it dries, it's gonna get a little firmer, right? Because like, just like anything, when it's warm, it's loose, it's a little more pliable. So I like to pick out the ones that are thin, that I think are done, and then put the thick ones back in, you know, just in, probably, honestly, it'll probably just take another 1.5 hours or something. I like everything to be done at the same consistency. And it's really a personal preference at that point, you know? If you like it real dry, then bring it through. Or if you want it to be a little crunchier, a little crispier, if that's kind of your style, turn the temperature up a skosh. But the thick ones, the big boys, we'll leave back in there just for a little. Yeah, I mean, we knew this one was gonna take a little more time just because of how thick it was. You know, that was that one I was like, we'll make a steak sandwich.
Yeah, a little steaker.
These little ones are great. And a little trick I got for you, if you do take it a little too far, or you forget about it, or you're out there, you went for a walk, or you went to go bring your pet duck to the vet or something, you know, you just want, if you over dehydrate it, what I've done before is you can throw it in like a bag or a sealed container, just like overnight, and its own little moistures in there will kind of rehydrate the outside slightly and bring back that little bit of pliableness instead of like potato chip crunch. So look, thin ones that are done into the container. If you're gonna store it, you wanna keep it in a sealed container. But these ones will go back in, like I said, for probably another hour, let them finish through. Bear with me, it's a chewer. A little bit of sweet, a little hint of spice, but not too spiced. It's kind of perfect. A little pliable, but certainly dehydrated all the way through. You wouldn't want to keep jerky in the fridge because, well, I mean, we're running off of a technique of food preservation that dates way past refrigeration. The reason why jerky was probably invented was because there wasn't refrigeration, and you could store it, you could travel with it. You're riding on your donkey or whatever the hell you got, you throw it in the side saddle, all right? You got, I'm chewing on a piece of jerky, back on the horse, no big deal. Bison, you know, it's got a lean, clean flavor. I think the secret weapon, I think the home run, the ace in the pocket, was the Costa Rican little salsa sauce I had. I forget what it was called. You're just gonna have to hit rewind and look at the label. I held it up. I'm gonna get some more of that stuff because that really added real cool kind of flavor in there. Pantry bison jerky. Just throw it together. Trust yourself. Trust your mouth. Trust your palate. You're a better cook than you let yourself be. Bon appetit. Just sit down and watch a movie. I got a couple ducks. That's why I said that, you know. My wife came home from the store, thought she was cute. She bought a couple of them Pekin ducks. You know, they're little and yellow and fun. And now, you know, they're the size of Mallory almost. They're huge. Oh, that sounds horrible. I didn't mean it like that. God. Like for a duck, I'm sorry. I'll just stop, Jesus Christ.